Good morning and welcome to Fans Banter. Make no mistake about it, it's a great night. It was a great night for Liverpool last night in the Champions League. They went away to what could have been a very difficult place to go. Marseille, hostile crowd, a team that are in good form, scoring lots of goals. And what did they do? Liverpool go away, they completely dominate the game and come away with a 3-0 victory. And that's a great Champions League night. And that I have now on my mind is, are Liverpool back? Can Liverpool actually start to put some good games together, get some points on the board and start to look like the team they were last year? Get the confidence up, and it would be a very brave man that would bet against them, that's for sure. An informed Liverpool team can beat any team that's in the Champions League. So Arne Slot, you had his press conference afterwards. He looked chipper. He looked like the cat that got the cream. He was happy with the performance. He was happy with Joe Gomez. I was delighted for Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez doesn't get too many chances, and when he does, sometimes he picks up injuries and puts him out for another few weeks. But he came in last night. He performed really well. Very solid in everything that he done. Also, a special mention for Frimpong. What a great game Frimpong had. I told you this before. Frimpong is a handful. That burst of speed is going to be trouble for any right left back in football. He's so quick. He has great balance, low centre of gravity. He's very difficult to shake off the ball for a small guy, let's face it. And didn't he do amazingly well for the own goal that the Marseille keeper hit off his heel and it went in, but up until it into the goal. 2-0 Liverpool, great night. What about Szoboszlai? Mr. Super Intelligent Szoboszlai. Obviously he's been looking at free kicks and how Marseille defend free kicks. No draft excluder, no drunk in the alley, no bottle of wine around anywhere. The wall jumps up, Szoboszlai. It's a long time since I've seen a free kick like that. The wall jumps up, Szoboszlai hits it along the grass, into the net, 1-0 Liverpool. He goes over, gives it the old intelligent thing. Yeah, he was looking into that, he was researching it, and it was a great goal from Szoboszlai. Where credit is due, Arne Slot comes in for a lot of stick, getting a lot of flack from everywhere. He even had a bit of a fun thing in his pre-match conference, hinting that Alonso had called him and asked him what the team was like because he'd be taking over in 6 months. I thought that was interesting from Arne Slot. Bit of humour from the man, that's good to see. But yeah, credit where credit is due. I thought he got it perfect last night. The tactics was good, the team was good, and everything worked out well last night. But I just wonder how many times you can mention low block in a post-game press conference, because I didn't count him, but he must have been up there in the maybe 20 times. But yeah, he was pleased that Marseille didn't play a low block. He mentioned some other teams that don't play a low block, and then he went and mentioned teams, not by name, but teams in the Premiership that play a different way for 9 or 10 games, and then when they come to us, they play a low block. Oh, come on, Aaron, just get over it. Take the praise from the reporter. Take the win. A good win, so just take it without mentioning the low block. But other than that, Liverpool last night, they looked solid throughout the whole game. I'm going to go as far as say it's Liverpool's best performance of the season. Not because of the result, but the way they performed over the 90 minutes. Liverpool have been guilty of playing really well in spats, maybe 10-15 minutes over in the Premiership, and then just sort of easing off things a little bit and letting teams grow into it. They were almost guilty of that at the start of the second half, where Marseille came onto them a little bit, and I thought Liverpool stood off them for just gave them too much space and invited Marseille onto them, but that soon stopped after about 5 or 6 minutes into the second half. Liverpool started to press Marseille and started to get at them again. Yeah, so as I said, I think it was an excellent performance from Liverpool as a unit. I thought they played very well. They were very solid in all areas of the pitch. Actually very good on defence. Let's give the defence a mention, because we have been sort of turning into some of the players in the defence recently. Well, I haven't anyway. Frimpong, excellent. Gomez, very good at centre-back. Van Dijk looked more like himself, a bit assured. I think maybe he was actually happier with Gomez by his side. I don't know. We have to watch that one. And Kirk has another solid performance from Kirk. Midfield, as expected, as would be expected, very solid, very good. They won all their duels, actually, I thought, last night, and played very well. Szoboszlai again, amazing in midfield, but McAllister put in a good shift also, and Gravenberch, just a wonderful player, breaking up the Marseille attacks and making some really good passes. So I suppose one of the highlights is that also Salah came back, went straight back into the team. Didn't have his best performance ever in a Liverpool shirt, but I think he did really well for a player that's been gone for about a month maybe. Probably should have got a goal. We won't speak much about it. I don't know what he was doing, but a Salah on form, a good performance Salah, a confident Salah probably scores that. But we'll put it down to, I don't know, put it down to rust, let's say. But yeah, pleased to see Salah back, pleased to see him in the starting lineup, and I think he looked well actually. Hugo Ekitike had a great game, I thought. He was busy all over the pitch. He was a real handful for the defence to have to sort of try and shackle. Unlucky not to get a goal. Took a first time. It was a wonderful strike. Hit the crossbar, post sort of area. Very unlucky for Ekitike, but I thought all night he was a real handful. Incidentally, he didn't look too happy being taken off, I don't think. But comes on and gets a goal. You can't really argue with the manager's decision there. Yeah, Cody Gakpo came on as a sub, and look, love Cody Gakpo or hate Cody Gakpo, he's like Marmite, but I've always said Cody Gakpo gets assists and gets goals, and Cody Gakpo almost got an assist last night for Mo Salah, and he got a goal, so you can't really argue with that. Performance really, really solid. Delighted they got the win. I thought it was going to be a difficult game. On paper, it looked to be more difficult than it actually turned out. But I think that's because Liverpool played really, really well. They controlled the ball for most of the game. Incidentally, when you look at the stats, when I say control the ball, they actually had less possession and they had less shots than Marseille. And they get 3 goals. Arne Slot touched on this in his post-match press conference. He talked about Liverpool having a bit of luck. He talked about Ekitike when he hit the crossbar, and then Marseille broke really quick and they missed their opportunity, and then he was harping on about in other games we've been unlucky and things like that have happened and the other team have gone up and they've scored straight away, and that's actually a fair point. So maybe a bit of luck was on Liverpool's side last night for 1 or 2 opportunities. I thought Alisson pulled off some excellent saves, but overall, taking away the possession thing, because sometimes that's misleading. Really, it all depends on where the possession is. I thought Liverpool were excellent when they were on the ball. I thought they pressed Marseille all over the pitch, didn't give them a second to breathe. Yeah, so really, really pleased. It's a 3-0 win, which was, as I said, on paper looked difficult, but in reality was a little bit more easier, I would imagine. So what does it do? Well, it moves Liverpool up into 4th in the league standings of the Champions League, the groups part of it. And it stops them from having to play an extra 2 games in the playoff before they go into the last 16. And I think that was important when you can take into consideration that Arne Slot is talking about minutes and legs, and he doesn't have the same squads that other clubs have, and he's having to play the same players over the time. So 2 games less is good, obviously. Pleased with that. Liverpool just have to wrap it up again next week just to make certain, but I'm sure it's almost a certainty now that Liverpool will finish in the top 8, and that's good. So, as I said at the start, are Liverpool back? Probably not there yet, but better performance last night, better over the 90 minutes than I think they've played at any other time of the season. So really, really happy with Liverpool, really happy with the performance, really happy with the players' attitudes. So yeah, overall it's a really, really good night for Liverpool. Make no bones about it. It was a tough game. Arne Slot was under a little bit of pressure. Liverpool were also under a little bit of pressure. So yeah, very happy with the result. So as Virgil van Dijk said in his after-match meeting with the reporters, he said, for Liverpool now, what we have to do is we have to build on it. We've had these little games before where we've played okay but then failed to build on it, and that's fair enough. So what Liverpool do have to do now is build on the positivity that last night created. They need to go to Bournemouth at the weekend and get the win, and then they need to wrap up the Champions League part next week, and that'll be all good. So yeah, as I say, an informed Liverpool team in the Champions League are going to be a very difficult team to beat. What do you think? Is there a possibility Liverpool could win the Champions League? Is there a possibility that confidence will grow? It's a long gap to Arsenal, but you know, Arsenal wobbling a bit over the last couple of weeks. No team really being able to take advantage of it. So if Liverpool start to put a good few wins in a row on top of the win at the weekend against Bournemouth, hopefully, maybe we'll start to exert a little bit of pressure. But I think maybe top 4 is probably where we're going to go. But you know, we can easily put the team pressure on the teams above us, Aston Villa and Man City, and then you know, you just never know in football. You just never know. So, yep, great win for Liverpool. Well done, Arne Slot. He got it right. Credit where credit is due. And that'll be it. So, at the weekend, we hope Liverpool get a win over Bournemouth. I'll be doing a little pre-match look into that, maybe a score prediction and a possible team from Arne Slot. But until then, cheerio and take care. Bye.